Hey there guys, EctoMaster here. We are back with Heroes of the Storm with another hero spotlight, and boy do I got a hero for you. That's right, we're taking a look at Gazlowe this week. He's a melee specialist, and we're going to be seeing, his skins, his abilities, his talents, all that kind of fun stuff. Because that's what we do. Now, I know I said last week that I was going to look into doing a new version of this, where we talk about the skills during an actual, try the character or something like that. Unfortunately, with the way that my internet has been going the last few days, I'm lucky that I got a stable thing going on right now. So we're going to kind of stay with this, stay with the format that it's been, because it's going to be the easiest one to deal with. So anyways, we'll take a look into his stuff here. And I just want to make sure something up there. We're good. Alright, we're doing good. So let's take a look at his skins, because, hey, that's the things that kind of, there's not much to look at, right? Right, alright. Anyways, so here's his base skin. And he has a couple of variants of that. Of course, you have to level up the character to get the extra skins. Here's his master skin at level 10. It has its variants as well. There's a Big Top Gazlowe, who is $9.99. That one's kind of cool because it looks like the Dark Moon Fit. I'm not gonna lie, it looks kind of cool. And then that's just, your traditional red, white, and blue. Hey, bada bing, bada boom. I'm gonna be doing a voice throughout this entire thing because it's Gazlowe. And then, of course, this is the newest one that they released. It's Mad Martian Gazlowe. They have the multiple skins on that. Of course, I only got the one because, hey, I haven't really played him. Let's take a look at his abilities. Now, when we get to the talents, I'm going to be looking at one build, specifically the highest rated build on Nexus Heroes, but I'm also going to look at the next one right underneath that, because they're two different kinds of builds, and I'm going to talk about them in a moment. So anyways, he's a melee specialist with a difficulty of medium. His main three abilities: Rocket Turret. It's a 60 mana cost with a 15-second cooldown. Creates a turret that deals X damage and lasts for 30 seconds. Then a Death Laser. It's a 60 mana cost with a 12-second cooldown. Charge attack that deals X to X damage, or X1 to 2 times X1 damage to enemies in a line. Damage and range increase the longer the ability is charged, reaching a maximum power after 3 seconds. And then Explodium Charge. It's a 70 mana cost and an area effect ability. It has a 12-second cooldown. It places a bomb that deals X damage to enemies within the target area after 2.5 seconds, stunning them for 2 seconds. And then his trait is Salvager. Destroyed enemy structures and your rocket turrets drop scrap. Collecting scrap restores 30 mana and causes his abilities to cool down twice as fast for 3 seconds. Activate Salvager to dismantle a target rocket turret and turn it into scrap. And then, of course, as all heroes do, he gets 2 heroic abilities. You have Robo Goblin, permanently transforms to deal increased siege damage. And then Gravo Bomb 3000. It's a 100 mana cost heroic ability with a 110 second cooldown. After a 2-second delay, pull enemies toward the center of an area and deal X damage. So now that we've looked at his abilities, let's look a little bit more into his talents. Now, the 2 builds that I am looking at today, the one specifically, the highest rated one, is, I'm guessing it's VII's Gazlowe or 7's Gazlowe. I have no clue which one it is. So this is a roaming ability. It is recommended as strong against Abathur, Brightwing, Falstad, Gazlowe, Illidan, Jaina, Kael'thas, Kerrigan, Lili, Malfurion, Murky, Nazebo, Nova, Raynor, Rhaegar, Sergeant Hammer, Tastadar, the Lost Vikings, Tyrande, Uther, Vala, and Zeratul. It is weak against Asmodan, Sylvanas, and Zagara, and it's neutral against everybody else. So, there you have it. So anyways, let's look at his build. So, Level 1, we're going to ignore Regeneration Master and Demolitionist, as those don't really pertain to Gazlowe. We see it on others. So the ones that we look at the most, or the ones that are specific to the character. Scrap-O-Matic Smelter increases the amount of mana restored by scrap to 60. Break It Down. Scrap now causes abilities to cool down 3 times as fast for 3 seconds. And then Extra TNT. Explodium charge damage increased by 10% per target hit, a max of 100% increased damage. Now for the build, they recommend to go with Break It Down. A level 4 superiority is something we don't see often, as is Promote. Well, we see them often with other characters, so we're going to ignore those. So we have Reduce, Reuse, Recycle. Enemy minions that die near you have a 15% chance to drop scrap. Clockwork Steam Fist. Basic attacks increase the duration of active rocket turrets by 1 second. And then Goblin Fusion. Death Laser gains an additional charge level after reaching max size, which increases the damage dealt by 25%. For this build, they want you to stick with Reduce, Reuse, and Recycle. This is really going to, for tower defense, basically. At level 7, Mercenary Lord, Call Down Mule, and First Aid. Again, all ones we see with other characters, so let's ignore them. Rocket Turret XL. Turrets attack up to 2 additional targets for 50% damage. And then Engine Gunk. Turret attacks slow movement speed by 25% for 2 seconds. For this build, they want you to go with Rocket Turret XL. At level 10, they recommend to get Robo Goblin, so we know what that does. We're going to move on. At level 13, Burning Rage and Sprint, again, are ones we see quite often with others. We'll go through the ones that we don't see, the Gazlowe specific, and then we'll talk about what the build sets to take. So turret storage, bleh. Max turret charges increased to 3. And then Easy Peasy Dimensional Ripper. Death Laser slows heroes by 40% and freezes minions or structures for 3 seconds. For this build, they recommend to go with Sprint. So you activate to gain 75% movement speed for 3 seconds. Has a 60-second cooldown. At level 16. So these are all except for Stone Skin. Pretty much, Gazlowe specific. Long-ranged turrets. Turret range increased by 40%. Quick release charge increased number of bomb charges to 2. And hyper-focus coils. Death Laser charges twice as fast. And that, my friends, is the one that they recommend to go with. And then last but not least, Hardened Shield and Fury of the Storm, again, are ones we see quite often with other characters. These, we're just going to talk about the increases to the heroic abilities. So Mecha Lord, basic attacks deal an additional 150% damage to heroes. And then Miniature Black Hole. Gravel Bomb radius increased by 25% and damage increased by 50%. Now for this build, 7's Gazlowe, they recommend to go with Mecha Lord. So there you have it, guys. That is Gazlowe with a roaming ability. What am I thinking? A roaming build. Let's take a look at a pushing build. This one is from Venetu. The other one was from Crinet 7. That's why I think it's 7's Gazlowe. So for Venetu's I Like Turrets Gazlowe, this is a pushing build. Recommends with level 1 to go with Extra TNT. For level 4, you take Superiority. Level 7, you stick with Rocket Turret XL. Level 10, you stick with Robo Goblin. Level 13 says to take Turret Storage. Level 16, Long Ranged Turrets. And level 20, again, you stick with Mecha Lord. So there you have it, guys. That was a roaming and a pushing build for one character. See, we got 2 in one episode. But of course, now that we're done talking about Gazlowe, as I plug my phone in, because I forgot to, we're going to take a look at the next one. So I'm going to pull up my little dice roller here. as I'm making all sorts of sounds right now. Alright, so we are looking at 1d8. Let's see who we get. Number 5. Oh, I know what I'm going to be calling this episode. I know what we're going to be calling it. We're calling it the Jesse Cox episode. That's right. Because it's time for I Murk, I Die, I Murk again. Next week we're going to take a look at everybody's favorite little buddy on the Murloc side. We're going to take a look at the melee specialist, Murky. Until then, I am EctoMaster, and I will see you guys in the next round.
Bye.